Hi. It feels better and it feels more centered. I would like to start this live by answering a question or maybe a couple. Let's see what comes up. But right now, it's this question that I've received a lot is what happens to the spirit babies when we change partner? Uh, is it the same? Do they change? And um, uh, you know me by now, and you know that it's always a case to case basis. So for some women, it will not matter who the partner is, the souls will stick with them and will be with them. And on the contrary, for some others, is if and when they change partner, that is when specific souls will come through. It comes back to this difference between destiny and free will. So in the destiny, you have certain aspects of your life that are unavoidable, and these you determine before incarnation. It could be you, it could be your council, it could be your team, but you pre-establish certain um, milestones that you're going to have to cross in your life, and that could be situations or people. So depend the ones of you who have established that um, they will have those specific children, these will come in their life no matter what, whatever choices they make, whether they change partner, whether they're going to be alone, whatever it is, these souls will come because they have something to establish together. It could be a contract, it could be a karmic debt, it can be anything. And some of you, um, the milestone will be to meet that specific man, that you have one dedicated partner and you will be with him. And if you're not with him, then maybe children will not come. So it's all about being in the right relationship. And some of you, the number of children or the souls that are meant to come with you will, and the level of vibration on which you are at the time of bringing those children can make things change. So when I do spirit baby readings, sometimes we'll see that there is one soul or three souls or four or two. But if you life will go on after the reading, you might have one child, then things in life will occur and you'll make certain decisions. And if we do a second reading, the elements in the reading could change. So that I find very interesting, because it's a case to case basis, and it's the choices that you make in your life that will determine the course of um, not the course of action, but the course of how things will unfold. Um, um, I've had a lot of questions regarding miscarriages and abortion and what happens to the soul if it's a miscarriage or if it's an abortion. The soul can come back, um, or it could go. Again, it's not a fixed thing. Um, I've seen it with my personal experience. I had a miscarriage, and the soul came back as my third child. For some, it never comes back, and it moves on to another soul, because sometimes making that decision to keep or not keep the child was a very big choice to make, and it impacts um, how you will evolve within your destiny. So either this soul will come back because it's a contract, and no matter what, and if not, and if you change over the times, a new soul will enter, and maybe that one will be more suitable for whatever is going to come up next in your life. Don't hesitate. If you have questions, you can type them, and um, I will read them in the messages. So Mariana, you just had an IUI, and any guidance? For us would be great. Okay. Feels good. Still feel that little boy, the fun and mischievous boy. Today there's also a lot of feminine energies that are wanting to come through. Okay. A lot of big changes will happen in this world through the arrival and of women, of more feminine energy. We have to nurture women. We have to nurture little girls. I don't know what direction this is going into, but the women have been oppressed for too long, and we need to raise powerful, sensitive, loving women who are aware. There, I see a lot of warrior women, warrior light workers. Um, we have to honor women, and we have to raise them to be powerful. Okay, it's going towards the importance. So it's more on the collective consciousness that about the power that we tend to give to men as as society or as humankind, and where women are negated and I see as if they're put down. Like they feel they're lower than men, and it is time to bring in powerful, loving women. We have to empower women. This is a very big message. We have to change the collective consciousness of what feminine is and what women are. And it's something that will start from the women itself. We have to create that safe space and create an area for them to be powerful. We have to give them the tools, we have to raise them. It's about first being connected to themselves. A lot of women are going to be more and more aware of who they are, as in the spiritual being having that life experience. And then you have the love, but there's a form of strength. There is a strong warrior energy that is coming through because women need to have power. I'm surprised myself by this channeling. Um, but it's a very powerful message that needs to be heard and that needs to be spread. And it feels like if some of you are really wanting to have a boy, you're almost being told, don't think like that. Don't think, even though I understand it for you, it might be personal, but all the all the aware women, all the women that are going through their spiritual journeys and who are more and more connected are going to bring powerful light workers, powerful women onto this uh, world. So be ready. It seems it's coming with a lot of strong characters and personalities, and it's about guiding them. Being as parents, you become almost like a spirit guide is to you, but in this incarnated world. So you are there. We're going to ask you to guide the children or these women to thrive, to be empowered, to reach success, because it is an aspect of improving this world. So by raising powerful girls, you make the world a better place. Wow. Ooh. I like that. Um, okay, I would like to take down a path. I would like to know if we don't have any spirit. Um, Claudia, I'm reading your message. I'm interacting with a lot of women who are going through the egg donor route, and I would like to know if we don't have any spirit baby ready to come as their own. Okay, let me see. Hmm. Hmm. So the answer, Claudia, to your question is the spirit babies are always connected to you, even if you're going through the donor egg. And this is something I've seen also in private sessions that surprised me. So the souls of the babies are not attached to the egg or to the embryo, but when it's hold on, let me rephrase this. So when the timing is right, so the souls are always around. The souls are not connected, let's say, to the donor egg. The souls may be partly connected to you, partly connected to the egg donor, but it's attached to the soul. It's before they come into this world, it's an energy and a soul to soul connection. So the soul will be connected to you, and then it will transpire into the physical. So once the embryo comes together and it can it can connect already at that time in the physical, or it can come once transferred into you. But the soul is still attached within your auric field. So, for example, if you were to have embryos that are frozen and I connect to you, I can still see a dormant baby. So it might not be active, it might not be interacting with you much. It's connected to you, but it's dormant because right now you might have frozen the eggs or it's not ready to come. When the timing is right, the baby will be more present and will when it's time to come, it's almost like it comes to life, and it can start interacting with me or with you within your aura. Okay, but it's not connected only to that women. There's no sometimes the souls already knew that this was going to be the way it would come. It knew from the beginning that it would not come maybe through your genetic, because that soul needs to have you as a mom but the genetics of someone else because it's important for their future life, as their adult life. Maybe it's an important factor for something. I don't know if it's their behavior, their belief system, their medical state. Something is already scheduled and planned where the genetics is coming from outside. But the soul is still having a contract, by the way, with everyone, with maybe your partner and you and the donor, because identity is a very important thing for human beings. We want to know, we need to know. So that child at some point will question, where do I come from? Does this birth mother look like me? Does it or not birth mother, sorry, the egg donor, do I have something in common with? So there might be something or some desire to connect with that person, to understand where it's coming from. um, so again, it's about how you will bring up that child, but it's very, very interesting to understand that there's still a connection with the person who is providing the egg. Yes, but the soul is not connected to the egg of that woman. It's connected to everyone. I hope that answers your question. Yeah, I understand, Rita. I'm seeing your message. I understand that it's not easy to go for the egg donor route. Um, for me in my practice, it's something I'm starting to see more and more. Um, some people have uh, success. I can share with you some stories. For example, I remember different cases, but one of which, um, hold on, hmm. It's telling me that nothing happens without a reason, because I was having a case in my mind about someone who was almost repeating a pattern. So it was not the lady, it was the husband who, by going through this whole process, was going to repeat a pattern. Um, so everything was put in place. Um, and for some, it's their solution, so it depends where you're coming from, but it doesn't, if it's, again, if it's meant to be, it will be, because nothing comes for no reason in this life. It's interesting because it's going again to this aspect of you always have the freedom to make choices, and but you never know what's going to happen later. It's first you make the choice, you initiate, you take an action, and they're saying we might grant it or not. So, but you're taking a chance, and then we're allowing it or not. And sometimes it will bring you, the happiness, and but it's like anything else in this world. And sometimes it will not be what you thought it was, and it could be painful and it could be hard, but it is one of the consequences of your choices. It's like anything, whether you're going to take right or whether you're going to take left, it's going to lead you to something. And it's the unknown. It's always the unknown, whatever choice you're going to make. But for you, Rita, it's saying you have to weigh the pros and cons, and you have to be sure, because um, it's about taking responsibility for your choices. You have to be confident. If you're going to make that choice, you have to be confident. It's something that you have to, it's about responsibility in your case. Um, I'm almost having this feeling that it's not really on God. It's not really, it's on you. If you want to go there, take responsibility for your action, but don't put it, the success or the failure, don't put it on anyone else. I don't know what that means. I don't know the context in which you're reaching, this decision. Um, I don't know if it's about not letting someone else decide for you, but really being empowered to make a decision for which you are uh, comfortable and sure with. Does that uh, does that make sense, Rita? Yeah, it feels like when I talked about the responsibility is to do it for you, not to do it for the others, not to do it for your partner or for what society will think of you, but it has to be a decision that comes from you. There's a lot of light coming all of a sudden. I'm seeing birds, doves flying in the light. It seems the biggest message today was regarding women, regarding feminine empowerment and raising warrior women. And it's also be ready to have gifted children. Um, No, it feels very peaceful. I think the channeling is already over for today. It feels at least the what messages I had to give. I feel now it's peaceful and calm and centered. Um, the second message that comes is really about awakening. The women that are watching this, the women who are about to become mothers, it is a time for spiritual awakening. It's like it starts with you. To be able to raise those gifted children, you have to awaken. You have to start activating your gifts. You have to start w- waking up, waking up to your energy self, to the I'm hearing some women would say, but how? How do I do that? And it's saying that it's about being connected and by being mindful. It's almost like nothing in your life will change other than how you perceive things, how you'll observe the world. It's like a sixth sense that opens up, and then you start seeing, um, you just start noticing things differently, as if I'm having images. Let's say you're even you're cooking and you become aware of your thoughts, or you look up through the window and then you see things, you're thinking about something, and then you meet people that will share the same idea or respond to what you're doing. It does. So the initial activation, the initial connection for me starts with hypnosis, hypnotherapy. You have to learn to relax the mind. And that's the tricky part. In meditation, it is said you have to bring silence. But bringing silence seems that it's the most difficult part. In hypnosis, you're not being told to be silent, you're being told to focus on just one thing at a time. So this helps you stop your thinking process. So if you have a person guiding you, you're going to be paying attention. You're going to be present in the moment. You're going to be focused, and you're going to follow certain instructions. By doing that, you start reaching deeper levels of your subconscious. So the focus could be I sit down, I close my eyes, and I randomly scan my body. So I'll be like, okay, let me see how it feels in my left knee. And then you just focus your attention on all the sensations in your left knee. And if you are focused enough, you will see that other thoughts of the regular life will stop coming because you will be focused on the subtle sensations, the sensations on the outside, on your skin, but then inside. Is it hurting? Is it comfortable? Is it relaxed? Is it tight? You just observe. And then randomly you could say, okay, now let me check in my right ear. So you bring your attention and your focus on the right ear. And again, you just observe. So these are just tools, it's small exercises. But for example, when you are doing a hypnotherapy session, you have someone who is there to help you focus, to stay focused. When you stay focused and you're able to enter the deeper stages of your subconscious mind and you create a bridge there, then it becomes easier for you to reconnect to that part of you. Why the subconscious is so important? It's because it is that expansion. Um, it is where your six senses. It's where you start the connection with your pillar of light and your six senses. So once that is done and created, you're going to you're not going to change anything, but synchronicities will happen. Uh, people will start leaving your life. It's almost like you're going to have more clarity about who you are and how you feel and where you should be heading in life and what you're accepting and what you're not accepting anymore. And just by thinking about it, it will start happening. And then things start looking a bit more beautiful. It start being a bit more positive. You feel, okay, I can do this. I It's not just about manifesting what you want and having the control over everything. That would be a wrong thing to think that, oh, the more I'm awakened, the more I can have control. No, on the contrary, it's about going with the flow. It's about accepting things. But yes, you can create and manifest things that are good or bad for you that you don't know. But it's a very, very, very interesting thing. So I'm trying to get more examples. I think it's being contemplating and seeing the beauty in the little things. Because I'm having this random thing of you observing nature, you know, something that you might have done. You walk, you see things, but it's not maybe that you don't care, but you never thought of it any different. And then all of a sudden, you'll start thinking of the process of things blossoming, nature. Nature has a rhythm. It's connected to time. It's just you start thinking and seeing things a bit differently. Um, and that it makes it a bit more magical. And what else? Let me see. They're saying that you will also start attracting people that will need to receive some of your wisdom. So you start becoming wiser. The more connected you are, the more detached you are, the more amazed you are, the more you share some of your discovery. It's like you become a bit of an inspiration, and people will seek, oh, how did you do it? Oh, they see something in you. Now they're saying when you start changing, even though it might be subtle, people will notice it. People will behave with you differently. So these are all the signs that you can look for when you start feeling more connected. Some people will have other techniques. Some people will have that through yoga, through the practice of a sport, or whether it's surf. In the end, it's all about being focused and present. High level sports people say that. Whoever does visualizations, the ski, um, um, all high levels, yeah, athletes will say in their practice or in the competition, they feel like they're in another state because they are so focused. It's like nothing else exists. You can take any anyone or any people, they all say the same thing: being super present. It's almost like it gives you a different power. But we have our mind, or we are often concerned about, um, we are even, it feels like a parasite. It's almost like white noise. All your thoughts are acting like noise to your peace. So imagine deep inside you have that light being, that peaceful self that you are, calm, centered, having clarity. And then imagine you have constantly, constantly, constantly. First, it's exhausting. It takes on your mental load and mental space. It doesn't allow you to fully connect to your sixth sense. It is a parasite. And yeah, the messages cannot go through. So you will struggle, or it would be more difficult to connect with your spirit guides or with whatever beings you're connected to, because it's acting as a layer, almost like a gray cloud that does not allow communication to go through. Okay. I don't know why I keep seeing someone in the kitchen cooking. So cooking could be something that relaxes you, and this is where you start receiving ideas or thoughts. I know sometimes for me it happens in the shower. The water element. I'm very creative when I'm underwater. Um, so for some of you or someone here in the crowd, it's cooking. It's something that makes you feel good, and yeah, then you start observing through your window and you start feeling the magic of life. It might seem small or a bit cuckoo, but when you go through it, when you live it, you will understand. So it's not about this, the outside circumstances do not change, but your perception changes. Kindness is coming, kindness to yourself, kindness to others. um, I think sometimes human judgments are harsh. We can be very harsh with ourselves, we can be very harsh with each other. So remember to be kind to the people around you, to your neighbors, to beware of your judgments because they stem from ignorance. You don't know the people, even if you think you know them. There's so much you don't know about the others. So judgment is based on a false idea of the person. And it feels like there's a lot of aggravating factors. If you start judging one person, then you spread information and word about them, and then it be kind. Be kind. Don't talk bad about others. Be kind with yourself. Don't worry, because if you're harsh on the others, you will think that, and you will sometimes know that others are harsh on you. So you will feel judged. That's why sometimes people are so concerned about what other people think, because they themselves, could be you, are harsh judges of yourself and others. So if you do it, you'll automatically assume that the others do it too. So they're throwing back at you a mirror. So if you start changing again, if you let go of some of your habits, you create a positive cycle. There's something about gossip. No gossip. Hold. Don't spread some of the things you you judge, because whatever you're putting out comes back. This thing of circles of sisterhood keeps coming in the past readings. Every time I do a session, a live, there's something about creating groups, creating meditation classes, creating sisterhood circles. There's really a need for kindness and support from women. Women uniting is very, very important. It's a subject that keeps coming back. So if you ever thought of creating something positive, or you want to expand your spiritual practice, please consider this. It would be a gift to the world. Could be also places for you to get comfort. Yeah, may you receive love and light. I think they're saying goodbye. The very powerful messages. Mm. Hi, Bettina. Yeah, I think that's it for today. If you've missed the live, you can watch the replay. Um, I was surprised. It's not the usual, just about spirit baby messages. It was about. It did feel that it's a concern for women to, for the next generation. So it is still very interesting. But I was surprised about the nature of the messages. So thank you for being there, for creating the space with me to receive those messages, because it's your presence that that allow all those beings within the consciousness to come through and to deliver the messages. And I know that it's for you present here in the live, and for all of you who will watch the replay. So thank you for sharing this space with me and amplifying the vortex to allow what comes through. May you all be blessed and in peace, and I look forward to catching up with you soon. Thank you, everyone. Bye.